Let's fight. Let's fight, guys. A very good evening to each and everyone. I went in my pose earlier, no. Let's fight. Guys, thanks for joining wherever you're joining us from this evening. We are going to unplug. We're going to unplug tonight, guys. Welcome, welcome, wherever you guys are joining us from. We want to welcome each and every one of you. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, welcome, guys, wherever you guys are sending, wherever you guys are joining us from, wherever you guys are sending the love from this evening. We are thankful. We are grateful to each and every one of you for being in the ring. And guys, we want to thank you for sharing the live stream live. I was tremendously impressed. I went on some people's profiles to fight them, but luckily I saw the live stream share there. I didn't get to go on everybody's profile, but I did leave a note. I did leave a note there to some people who we saw them sharing the live stream. I was tremendously hurt. I want to say a lot of things, but I had to be very, very circumspect, guys. Thanks for joining. And this is the evening. I want you guys to share this live stream. We have Joe Harmon is going to be joining us. Amanza Walton-Desir is going to be joining us. Rickford Burke is going to be joining us. This sounds like a 3-hour program, folks. This sounds as though it's going to be a 3 hours program. But guys, I'm tremendously grateful. I'm trying to say a little more erect. I'm tremendously grateful that all of you guys are joining us. We're waiting to hit that magic number. And as soon as we do that, guys, we are ready to go. I think we're ready to go. I hope our operators are ready to go. I hope these spelling people get things right tonight because we ain't playing. You understand me? Don't pull no PPP stunt here. All right. We're not playing at this end. No PPP stunts. We ain't having it. Right? So anybody who wants to pull PPP stunts, they are going to be left behind. They are definitely going to be left behind. We am playing stunts, guys. I am looking at what's happening at my end here and trying to get some stuff sorted out for you guys. Give me a second. All right. Y'all want to do now is why you doing here? Right? Y'all fast. That's why y'all on Facebook. So I encourage y'all if y'all want to know what is happening at our end. Right? It's one set of fast people we're dealing with. And of course, y'all don't want to be left behind by any means. So a lot of you guys are so curious as to what is happening. All right, I'm just ensuring that I have power in the right places. I don't want nothing to go wrong this evening. There's a fighting y'all. So guys, share the live stream. Tremendously grateful for all of you guys who are joining us. The system is asking me whether I want to reboot or not. Not tonight. Stop it, PPP. Good. All right, we're not having it. Guys, how was the day? How was the day where you are? How was the day where you are? I need to bring in some information. I think I have a little minor glitch, and I'm trying to sort it out. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that. We are going to fix that. We're having it. We're not having it. We're going to fix that. No stress this evening. I want nothing giving me problems tonight. Guys, how are you doing? Good to see all of you. Good to see all of you guys waiting to hit that magic number. And as you come on, guys, we encourage you to share this live stream tonight. Is good. We are going to get unplugged. We're unplugging on COVID, the COVID people, right? We're unplugging on some international relations people. We are unplugging on a whole range of issues this evening. We are going to unplug on. I'm seeing one of the devices here is giving me a power signal. So as you guys come on, as we reach that magic number, I just want to make sure that I have enough power to all of my devices. So guys, you just share, you just invite a friend. Tonight is the night to invite your frenemy. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy at all. Right? Invite all and sundry. Invite all and sundry, guys. All and sundry. Good to have you here. And I'm seeing we're climbing to that magic number. Yvonne, good to see you on Twitter. Good to have you, Yvonne. Business tonight, no nonsense. Yvonne, make I sit up a little more straight. Good to see you, Yvonne, on Twitter. Karen Black, Marlon Tony, Trenton Marks, and June Chase. All of you guys there. Dalet, good to see you, Dalet. What's happening where you are, Dalet? What's happening where you are? We need to bring in one of our monitors, Dalet. Help us, help us, help us. Ernest, good to see Ernest is there as well, and Gloria, and is it Harmon? All the other folks who are joining us, you must be seeing some value in this program, even if you come to abuse as a Trenchy, even if you come to abuse as a Jagabat, you must be seeing something worthwhile in this program. And we are grateful for each and every one of you guys as you come on this evening. Share the live stream. We really hope you had a good day at work. Really hope so. Really hope you had a good day at home. If you stay at home, if you're still on the job, guys, we are going to watch with you for 1 hour, or you're going to watch with us for 1 hour. However that goes. But we are happy that you guys are here with us this evening. Happy that you guys are here with us, and I am still trying to get my one of our sources up and running. And I don't know what's happening. It's the trenches, it's too much of the trenches on. It's too much of the trenches. I think it is that. Too much of the trenches. Right? I think it has to do with them. And we are slowly approaching our magic numbers. As soon as we hit that, guys, so much to talk about this evening. So much to talk about. As Bob Marley says, so many things to say right now. We got so many things to say. And we are so happy that all of you guys are with us. So very, very happy that each and every one of you are with us. And we having a little screen trouble here. But I think by the time we reach that magic number, we are going to be good to go. I think so. That is my feeling. We are going to be good to go. Good to have you guys. Good to have you guys. Let me see who's joining us. Hazel Pitts George and Ernest Elliott, Dorette Jackson, and Marsha Glasgow, Karen Blair, and Michael Reed. Good night to all of you guys. Quickly approaching the magic number. And as soon as we hit it, I am going to, well, hopefully, hopefully the other thing's ready. Hopefully, right? Hopefully by then the other stuff ready, and we are able to go through. Hopefully by then the other stuff ready, and we go on clear. All right. All right, guys. So good to see all of you again. Good to see you guys. Let me know where you're all joining us from now. Let me know where you're all joining us from so we can give a shout out to the folks wherever you guys are joining us from. Right? Let me know where y'all are joining us from. All of y'all. And for the life of me, our one of our screens don't want to connect. They don't want to bring you the credible information. That is what they're fighting. They don't want us to bring you the valid and credible information. Right? But I am tremendously grateful that all of you guys are here with us. I'm making sure I have my notes and all of that, right? It's Pocketory, it's Crasses, it's Signs of the Times, it's a whole host of stuff, folks. It's a whole host of stuff, right? And I am almost there. Again, to you guys who are joining us, welcome the ring. And if only I could find, let me see how we can do this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So guys, a very good evening. Welcome. Just give me a second. See, Agre is on YouTube. Good to see you there, Agre. Good to see Laverne and all the other folks, Orin, and all the other guys that are joining us this evening. Good to see all of you guys. And we are just about ready to go in another 30 seconds or so. We are going to be good to go. Another 30 seconds or so, folks. Another 30 seconds or so. We are going to be good to go. Just making sure that we are ready at our end, and just making sure we are ready to go. All right. And I see Sukchan has joined us, and Sandrine Beard has joined us as well, Laverne Joseph and Ernest. All are really happy to have you on. And again, Joseph Harmon, the leader of the opposition, is going to be stopping by. Amanza Walton-Desir as well is going to be stopping by. We have Rickford Burke, our brother from another mother. He as well is going to be stopping by this evening, and again, we are tremendously happy. We'd have it no other way. We'd have it no other way. And as soon as they're ready, we are going to be so good to go. I think I may have lost one of my screens. That being said, we are going to take what we have and wait for what we want. We are going to take what we have and wait for what we want. So let me see if I can bring in the screens. Yep, I may be able to do it. All right, so I am ready with the hot topics. If you guys are ready, I am ready as well. Hot topics this evening. All right. All right, guys. So let's get going this evening, and we trust that you guys are going to share the live stream. I want to get through the hot topics this evening, and this is some of what we have for you this evening. Let's start on the international front. And you see, we made some tweaks with our staff, and now we get international rights. See, that's what you got to do. We don't settle for mediocrity, you know. If the people can't give you what we want, then you got to go. Once we see rank spelling, we know it's PPP. And it's hit the door, Jack. Hit the road. Don't you come back no more. Once we see rank spelling, we know it's who we dealing with. You can't hide. You can't hide. And so we got to left you behind. So we are looking at some international news this evening. And folks, so much is happening on this front. So much is happening on the international front. Again, so much is happening on that international front. And yeah, we are going to be talking to you a little bit about what has been happening with this SPUTNIK V, because you know lots have been happening in this area. Lots and lots. Folks, you got to share this live stream this evening. You got to tag a friend of me. We are covering this SPUTNIK V scandal that is getting deeper and deeper. Now they come out with a gentleman this evening has saying that he has certified that we have received authentic SPUTNIK vaccines. Well, he got some serious issues himself, right? Like the people who the Sheikh had brought with him, he got some issues himself. So we're going to be talking about those issues and what is the latest on this SPUTNIK V scandal front. We're going to be talking about that, and as it relates to the PPP. We're going to be talking to our friend Rickford Burke about these developments in the U.S. State Department as relates to Sarah Ann Lynch and the U.S. Undersecretary Victoria Nuland. Certain statements were put out. The Undersecretary would have had a meeting with the installed UTAD recently. The government, the installed administration, gave a very, very brief statement, not saying much, very, very tight-lipped. The embassy locally on the Sierra Ann Lynch guidance has put out a more expanded statement, at least, than what the government had offered. It leaves more questions than answers. And Rickford is going to tell us a little later on about what is happening on that front, folks. In addition to that, signs of the times. Signs of the times. Some of my guests are already joining me in the green room virtually, and I'll hasten through the hot topics. Signs of the times, folks. Look what's happening in our country. A Barbies man was arrested for abducting a 17-year-old. When you see some things happening in this country, you think this country gone, folks. That's what some of us say. We gone, right? And we're seeing more and more of this kind of madness. It's like there's no respect anymore for law and order. So he just gets vexed. And he abducted this 17-year-old. According to the reports, he and this girl have been in a relationship for more than a year. So since she is 16, listen, folks, I want to catch some parents with a manicure broom. You understand me? With a cow pistol. Right? And I can tell you what I can do, but just take that for now. So he has abducted her. Apparently, she wants out of whatever quote-unquote relationship they would have shared in the past. Right? And now this is the man. He abducted her over the weekend. Signs of the times, folks. I think we got. I think so. Look at this other piece of information. We're making this stuff up, Lagrange man critical after brutal attack by girlfriend's ex. I wish I had the time to delve into some of these stories. Young men, right? As we say here, the mother milk still in the face. One, I think, is 21. One is 22. And now they got to put themselves before the courts. And God knows, half of their life probably going down the drain. Right? The woman don't want you, go about your business. The woman wants somebody else, go about your business. It's not one fish in the sea. Right? And even if it's one fish, thank God, it's not catfish. Thank God for that. Signs in the times. Watch. Birthday party brawl leaves one dead. Or you go to a birthday party and lose your life. The food and poison. Birthday party brawl leaves one dead. It's one story to the next in this country. One story to the next. How you go to a birthday party and you end up in harm's way. Huh? That makes sense? You go to a birthday party and you end up in harm's way. That make too much sense to me. Signs of the times, folks. I think we gone. Right? After chopping, perpetrators leave victim at shop to be rescued. My God. What to the police? Police aren't working anymore. People got respect for the police. After chopping, perpetrators leave victim at shop to be rescued. It gets worse, not better. Look at this one. This reminds me of the bike situation recently. Driver stopped to cool off engine, loses cash and bus. Driver stops to cool off engine, loses cash and bus. You remember the bicycle story last night? This is the country we living in, folks. This is the country we living in. Regretfully, this is the country. This is the country. I don't know what else to tell you. This is the country. We got some folks who are lining up. They're going to be on very, very shortly. But this is the country that we are living in. The man stopped to cool off engine. Right? And them boys gone with the bus and the cash. This is the Ghana we living in. Right? Rickford last night, a man pushing a puncture bike. You think things bad with you there? No. You live in a paradise. Them boys rob the man the puncture bike and ride away with it. Ride away with the bike. That's what we there, I think we gone. But Rickford might got something else to tell us a little later on. But honestly, I think that's it. Right? Look what's happening now. The PPP crasses. That's what it's called them. Right? Prices gone up. Now look at this. There's a place just today. We can't make this up. Egg ball is $4.40. Well, I stop eat egg ball now. right? Egg ball is 440. You can hardly afford the aisle. Cassava ball is 620. What's this say? Right? Bacon saltfish is 800. This shop probably the next one, them aisle rigs. Right? Boil and fried china, 800. Right? This shop got next to them one of them aisle rigs. This is Guyana, you know. Well, I stopped eat egg ball. This is my whole list of things I stop eat now. I stop eat cassava ball. I stop eat potato ball. Right? I stop eat chicken ball. Anything over 500, I can't afford. All right, and say anything over 440. Folks, times in the times. Now I'm hearing gas price gone up. All right. Folks, have you bought gas recently? If the gas price has gone up, leave us a comment. Leave us a comment very, very quickly. I was made to understand that at KK gas station, they run out of gas. Have you encountered that gas stations out of gas or the price has gone up yet again? Leave us a note that effect. And on the COVID front, guys, again, we're going to be talking about what has been happening on the SPUTNIK front, where it concerns COVID. And with that, you know, I saw Guyana Times, more Crasses, just today published an article in which they are slandering the leader of the opposition, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that this evening on the COVID front, right? They're slandering, oh, the leader of the opposition suddenly now has made an about turn on COVID-19. According to them, folks, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all what to do with times, right? I know this country got a toilet paper problem. Toilet paper price now gone up, right? Times cheaper. So you know what you got to do. Toilet paper price gone up, right? And Mr. Harmon is going to be on, walk us through this nonsense with the Times newspaper and their slanderous, their attempt to slander him because they're putting words in the leader of the opposition mouth. That is what they are seeking to do, to put words in the leader of the opposition mouth. Not so Oren, not so Destiny, Ornest. If you printing things that I didn't say, what else can I tell you? It's a slander. So I want to hear from the leader of the opposition because he has put out, he spoke to the matter publicly during the course of the day. He spoke to that issue, and I want to put that question to him: what is happening, and what is and wanting him to endorse? You know, then engage in the opposition unless we say to them, "Oh, they are legal." Right now, they're behind the leader of the opposition. Oh, he has to tell them, you know, he has to come back and apologize for asking for the Sputnik vaccine to be suspended until we can verify its authenticity. Part of what he said today, Red, he said he took seriously the offense on the front page article published in the Guyana Times on the headline, "Government made the right decision in Sputnik V vaccine purchase," and they ascribed that comment to Mr. Harmon. Right? He went on to say the article is based on completely false information. I did not issue any statement as quoted in the article. My office issued no such statement. In fact, I issued no statement to the media. So where is Times getting this stuff from? Right? You understand why people don't read Times? Well, it's perhaps because people don't read Times. They're now inventing these very stories. And I think we are ready for Mr. Harmon. But another part of what he said today was to the effect that the article is malicious, it is libelous, and seeks to impugn his character and present complete falsehoods to the public as fact. But that is this whole Sputnik story, presenting falsehoods, right, to the public as facts. Right? He said it is despicable and purely falsehood, and part of what appears to be a desperate PPP disinformation campaign. That is what we have happening. Right? That is what we have happening, folks, as we await Mr. Harmon to come on and to let us know, you know, some more on this very issue, folks. We invite you guys to share the live stream. If you guys are joining us on Twitter, if you guys are joining us on, well, lots of you joining us on Facebook. Why? Because you're fast. And those of you guys who are joining us on YouTube, subscribe, reshare, retweet, guys. We love you. We love you. We love you. And thanks for that. He went on in this public statement here. He said he has articulated a single, unflinching, and unchanging position on the issue since the shocking revelations were made in the National Assembly by the Minister of Health, the installed Frank Anthony. He said he again repeats his call for the president to address the nation in a coherent and responsible manner and to provide clarity to the Guyanese people on this issue. And that is what is needed, right? That is what is needed. Y'all put in this fella name and y'all can see this fellow who, according it is alleged by the installed administration, he is now certifying, right? Certifying that these COVID vaccines supposed to be authentic or authenticating. Right? Mr. Harmon, are you there? Let me see if we have Mr. Harmon ready for us. Mr. Harmon, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Greetings, sir, and welcome. Talk to us about what is happening here with the Ghana Times, as you rightly said, trying to slander your name. This libelous article here. What?
Sharad, I like how you've put it. In fact, you have captured the essence of my response to the Ghana Times. And I must say that the article appearing on the front page as a headline, it seems as if these folks are scrambling for something to authenticate or to give validity to what we are seeing here. I never made any statement like that. At least some responsible reporter would have called to confirm that this is your statement before you rush to make a full headline on your front page about it. So it is really them scrambling. They're scrambling every little corner where they can find some amount of authenticity. But they can't find it, Sherrod. They can't find it. I said in the statement today, which you read part of it, that on Monday, while they were trying to put their little wicked, evil deed together, at the time they were putting together this scam on the Guyanese people, I was busy getting in touch with the Gamaliel National Center, which is in Russia, to ask them some specific questions. And I sent out that letter to them. I sent a copy of it to PAHO. I sent a copy to WHO. I sent a copy to the EU representative here and the Russian ambassador. So it is so strange, Sarah, that almost an hour after my letter went off, there appears this thing which I can't call it a letter. I got to call it a thing.
Yeah.
Because anybody could go on the internet and pick up some prototype and putting information and say, we got it here. But I am not going to make any strong comments on that letter here tonight, because I will let the Guyanese people see for themselves, and let all of the Guyanese people who they are taking for fools. They believe that the Guyanese people don't understand what's going on. So they can throw some little bogus thing in their face and they say, okay, we got the authenticity. But more questions than answers are raised by this letter. More questions than answers.
I want to comment on that note, Mr. Harmon, because anybody doing any bit of due diligence on the name Alexander Kristyakov, which is the fellow who signed this letter stating that these are authentic vaccines, would see that up until March of this year, not last year, not the year before, up until March of this year, Mr. Kristyakov headed an oil company which filed for bankruptcy. Suddenly, Mr. Kristyakov is into medicine and authenticating vaccines. As a and just for the Guyanese public, one news article online available online says according to the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, this is out of Russia, it points out that Mr. Khrushchev is to benefit from money laundering, right, in what is called the Troika network, in which businessmen and politicians from Russia elites are involved. This is information available online. Sam, the
Yes.
question I want to ask here,
Mm.
the question I want to ask here is, why is it the PPP government like to do business with these shady people? Even the Sheikh and his entourage had people who were wanted by international police.
Yes. But Sherrod, this is the kind of regime that we have. They are comfortable in that environment. And if you go back in the whole history of the PPP, when they were in office, they were selling animal milk as baby milk. You remember that scam?
Yeah.
You remember Bernard Kerrick and several other scams which they actually pulled on the Guyanese people. But unfortunately for them, we now have the internet. We now have people that are able to fact check things very quickly. And so it is not easy for you to get away with that. What they tried to do, of course, was to avoid the scrutiny of our parliamentarians by shutting down the parliament for a long time. And so that when all of these things came up, they felt it would have bypassed us very quickly because of the number of issues that were coming up. But they failed to understand that this is a different generation, that this is a different quality of members of parliament we have now. And that what it is showing is that the Guyanese society, that they are producing quality leaders. In spite of these installed regime, we are still producing quality leaders who are able to analyze things and to make and ask the hard questions. So the PPP, they are in fact, in my view, they are afraid to even go to parliament now because of the questions that are asked. So they are comfortable dealing with criminal elements. They are comfortable dealing with shady characters. And so it is not strange to most Guyanese that all of these transactions you're seeing now, they have that element. Recall when we came into office, or when they came into office in August of 2020, several high-ranking officials from the United States and all over here in the first month, everybody signing. We are still to see these documents that Irfan Ali and Bharat Jagdeo signed away. We are still to see those. And what we are seeing now is the impact of those signings. And that is why when Rickford speaks to you later, you will understand why there is always this haste to cover up. By the officials in some other countries. A haste to cover up the deeds of this regime. But they can't keep covering it up. Our people are much smarter, and I think they are misinterpreting the intelligence and misunderstanding that Guyanese people, young people and old people alike, are intelligent people. And so your daughter or your little son, in fact, a little child could show you this, look, this document here. Gordon Mosley asked about the mathematics of these vaccines. Do an addition on this paper, this bogus paper that you're seeing there, add it up and see what you get.
It's more questions
how many
than
hundred thousands.
Yeah.
And you will understand that this whole thing is still not satisfactory. That we will have to keep pressing, and we will have to get information from the official sources. And that is what they're running from. If, in fact, Frank Anthony has this information, why don't he put it out? You said that on Monday or Tuesday, on Monday, sir, that you had the information. You are prepared to let it out. We are still waiting for that, but instead, you run to get some Russian man to give you some document that you want us to accept. That this document is dated today.
Yeah, but we having it.
When was this letter sent? No reference at all to any requirement or any request from the government of Guyana.
But one could ask, wouldn't a letter like that precede the shipment or come with the shipment of Sputnik V? Do you have to ask for it? That should be a part of the consignment, I would think.
Well, well, Sharon, as I said, I have not really gone into the letter in any great detail.
Yeah.
I'll do that during the course of the night.
Yes,
But I
sir.
can say to you that from the little I have read, and some of the people have started communicating to me on the matter, is that the letter is saying that the shipping documents and everything should have been with you. You should have it.
Hmm.
This is the same letter now that is seeking to authenticate.
Yeah,
It's saying in the text of the letter that you are supposed to have these documents. So why you don't give it?
yeah,
We are hiding.
yeah,
Why are you hiding Frank Anthony? Why are you hiding Barrel Jagdio? What are you
yeah.
hiding Irfan Ali? The Guyanese people are watching at you. You can't hide anymore. There's no place to hide. Run, wrong, or wrong, or wrong. You are playing with the health and the lives of Guyanese people here. Apart from the money that has gone over 600 million, you are playing with our lives. And we are pissed about it. We're
Very much
not going
so.
to sit down and accept that. Once we
Very
get
much so.
the verification from the authentic sources, then there's another story. But it is not something that we're going to sit down and accept as being gospel. This little email story that you pull off from some internet,
Yeah,
that's not going to fly.
yeah,
So the question of the letter, the report in the Ghana Times today, that of course is nonsense. Is I don't want to use the B word, but it's bulls, it's balls.
I can
I
use
don't
it
use
for
the
you.
full word for it. Because next
Yeah,
thing they will say Sherrod program and he said something bad on it. But
yeah,
it's utter nonsense.
yeah,
It is made up. And the whole intention is to get the Guyanese people to believe that what we are seeing is wrong. And
yeah,
that I am changing my mouth. I'm making a U-turn.
yeah,
I'm making a U-turn. I'm on a straight line. I am on a
yeah.
straight line, as I said in the
Very
statement,
well.
that my position is very clear. And I iterated that position in my statement, and I will hold to that. Nobody's going to publish anything, and then the trolls start feeding off of it.
Yeah,
The Ghana Times, they cater to a particular public in this country. So they don't cater to you, Sherrod. They are writing for a particular section of our society. And so whatever they believe that they say, that section will buy it.
yeah,
But I think that is changing because information is now more readily available and people can cross-check and verify. You see in the article, I wanted them to say who is the person who's writing this thing. So it is the newspaper itself. But what I believe has happened, Sherrod, is that Jagdeo wants some company in the court because he going to court and he got this 20 million judgment. He get Anil now to go and file something, and he want Guyana Times along with him in the court as well.
yeah,
Well, it seems to me that that's where they're heading.
yeah.
It seems to me that way.
Leader of the opposition, I want to thank you for coming by and giving us some clarity on this very, very matter, sir. Thank you. And hopefully when you address your mind to this mysterious letter, you'll come back and give
Oh
us.
yes, oh yes,
Thanks,
definitely,
thanks very much.
definitely. Thank you very much, Sherrod, and thanks to your listeners. Stay focused, stay in the ring, stay fighting, keep the punches going. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. Let me say what the leader of the opposition couldn't say. It's bullshit. That is
That's
bullshit.
right.
That's what it is.
But
Amanza Walton-Desir joining us. Thank you, Amanza. Welcome. Amanza, you just say what you got to say. It's nonsense.
Hey, Sherrod, how are you?
Are we having it? Right ahead, Amanza. I'm fine. Thanks, Amanza.
Oh, what do you want me to address tonight?
What is happening with the Sputnik issue? All these thieving people, all of these thieving people, the man is a tycoon one day, the next day he's bankrupt, and suddenly He entered vaccine verification. Where the PPPs find these people from? This shit come with
Look,
some people. Half of them wanted by international police. A man's explain it for me. Explain it for the Guyanese people.
Sharon, I can't explain it. I can't explain the PPPC to the Guyanese people. Look, and it. Sometimes you smile because it is so funny that it's so serious that if you take it on, you could get an aneurysm. This
Mm-hmm.
thing is disgusting. I had a look at a letter that has been posted on social media purporting to be verifying the authenticity of the Sputnik. Sherrod, a couple of things stand out to me, and I wish I could say this to you.
Yes, Amanza.
You know, the majority of Guyanese are smart people, and we can reason for ourselves. Now, when you
Mm-hmm.
look at that letter, it raises to me more questions than answers. Because a
Mm-hmm.
line in that letter says that the shipping information, the vaccine, the batch numbers, the certificates of analysis, etc., all of the documents that we have been asking for were sent with the shipments.
Mm-hmm.
So who has those documents? And this is what we've been asking for from day one.
Yeah.
The letter that the leader of the opposition wrote asked for these specific items.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're getting a letter dated June 22nd authenticating the supply of the vaccines.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
am I to understand that we are asking for this now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am
And
I
by
to
a man
understand
who
that
has no history.
after we spend billions on a vaccine, we are now attempting to authenticate it?
And that's the point I was making to the leader of the opposition. One would think that this kind of information either precedes the vaccine or comes with the shipment. Comes with the shipment. And then you have a man authenticating who has no experience in this area because, as I said, just recently he was head of an oil company that went bankrupt. But I want to read another article that can be found by anybody online, which says that in part of this company that he was head of that went bankrupt,
Mm.
the creditors have now come down on the company 11.4 billion rubles, right? So he has a lot of money that he's owing creditors. Now he's selling drugs. Manza?
Look, we know that the PPC has a proclivity for doing business with a certain type of people. That has been established. Sherrod, my greater concern is the health and well-being of Guyanese.
Mm-hmm.
That is my primary concern. And two, that our people have to understand that it is their constitutional right to ask and demand answers from those in leadership.
Yeah,
So I have very little patience with people who would seek to suggest that the opposition is doing some kind of harm by
yeah,
requesting this kind of information. This
yeah.
is the right
Yeah,
of the
just going
people of
on.
Guyana to receive that information. And the
Very
other
well.
point that stands out to me, Sharon, is that when you are buying a two-dose vaccine, how is it that you have 80 something thousand more first dose than second dose? And
Mm-hmm.
now you do not know when you are getting the second dose.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at the very
I think,
document that they have produced to justify themselves, you will see that there's a huge disparity.
yeah,
And now we are hearing that they don't know when they're going to get the second dose because
yeah,
they have not purchased the vaccines for themselves. So, what will happen to those persons who have had the first dose, have not had the second dose, and the time within which they must take the second dose elapses and they don't have it?
yeah, yeah. MP Walton Desir, the
Quench
other
a
thing
fire that has been just in fact added fuel to the fire.
Yeah. MP Walton Desir, the other thing that struck me is that I would have thought that in this letter, the Russians from who you're procuring these vaccines might have told us when we get in the second shipment. Since you went back to the Russians, they might have included, a month, 2 months, 2 years, the second dose. But so
Well,
much
you
nebulous.
all of the things. These are all of the issues that we still have not been answer. Now, the letter specifically documentation, batch release,
With us, folks, I know Amanza is getting some challenges there. Let's see if. Go right ahead, Amanza.
right? Now, I was making the point of what the letter said that the supporting documentation, batch release, certificate of analysis, packing list have been provided along with the shipments. So, where are these documents?
Yeah. And why can't
The
they be
leader
made
of
public?
the leader of the opposition asked the very next Frank Anthony, could you please provide these documents so that we can assure the people of Guyana? Those
Yeah.
documents have not been forthcoming, but you hear in this letter that they were sent with the shipments. So who
Yeah.
has them?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Like I
Mr.
said,
Bong.
I have a brain. It says we would like to confirm the authenticity of the shipments, and it goes on to list what it is.
Yeah.
And with below listed batches that have been dispatched to Oro Gulf UAE for further transportation to the countries where Oro Gulf received authorization for selling and distribution of Sputnik V, including Guyana.
Yeah. Interesting.
It
Interesting.
does not say that these shipments shipments that have been sent to Guyana. It says including. Now, I've
Yeah.
been to school. So to me, including means they got other things in there. It's
Yeah.
not only Guyana. And so we
What?
do not know which were the batches sent to Guyana. We have no idea of this listed here, what has been sent to Guyana. And if
Mhm.
in fact these were the batches sent to Guyana, you have this huge disparity between the first and second doses. Did somebody botch the procurement? Why
Yeah.
not buy the matching doses? So if you buy 60,000 first dose, you got 60,000 second dose. And you know that therefore you could have 60,000 vaccinated persons at the end of the day. You have
Yeah.
80 something thousand more first dose and second dose. Where we getting it from?
Yeah. The math is not adding up. The math is not adding up.
The numbers are not adding up.
Anything
In the
else you
very
want to
document
say?
that they've proposed to sorry?
I was asking anything else you want us to know at this hour on this subject matter.
No, I'm just saying the entire episode should say to the Guyanese people and should indicate to the Guyanese people the importance of asking questions and
Yeah.
demanding accountability from whatever
Yeah.
government. If it is the PPPC, if it is the AP and UAFC, you have a right to be provided with whatever answers you need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make
Very
informed
well.
decisions,
Very
Sharon.
well.
And
Yeah.
so I want our people to understand that. I know that the leader of the opposition has written to the manufacturer themselves of
Very well.
these vaccines. And so we are awaiting their response because we will be responsible about this. We're not going to be playing politics with the lives of Guyanese. We are going to be responsible about this. And so we have gone to the source to say to them, look, could you please verify it? Because for me, this is not politics. I have taken the Sputnik vaccine and I have encouraged other people to take the Sputnik vaccine. And so I'm not at liberty to operate as if I am unaware of these facts that have now come to the fore. I'm not at liberty to so do. And so,
Yeah.
Sharon, Those are my thoughts on the matter initially.
Great. Amanza, I want to thank you for coming by and again offering us, as you said, rightfully said, the clarity that is needed for the Guyanese people on this Sputnik V issue, because as we say colloquially, it tetanus here. It tetanus. Thank you, Amanza.
Have a good evening.
You too. Folks, and there you have it, MP Amanza Walton-Desir, who joined us on this Sputnik V. And folks, I want us to get ready to rumble, because we have our brother who is joining us, Mr. Rickford Burke. I tell you all, one time we're going into overtime. We're going into overtime on these Jagabats, right? You better get ready. We gotta fight, folks. We gotta fight. I want to welcome to the program this evening in the ring, the one and only Mr. Rickford Burke. Rickford, how are you doing there, sir?
Good night, sir. Good night to your listeners.
Well, I've already informed them that we're going into overtime on this issue with the fraudulent administration, Sarah Lynch, and the whole pack of Jagabats. Now you understand the fight at your end. You understand the fight at our end. We saw this meeting happen between Miss Newland, the undersecretary, I think it is, and the installed Mr. Todd Utah, out of its depths all the time. A very, very brief statement by the government. It took the American embassy to add a little more to that. And even with that, there's a lot of questions more than answers. Rickford, what should we be focused on at this hour?
Well, to elaborate, thank you for having me. Good night to my sister Manza. Good night to your listeners. Thanks for the question. Now, what the issue is, what happened is, this meeting happened between the number 3 person at the State Department, Miss Victoria Newland. She's the Undersecretary for Political Affairs, and that's normally the number 3 person. She had a call with Utah, the foreign minister, installed foreign minister. And after that call, apparently Utah himself, or at least the foreign ministry, issued a statement acknowledging the call and broadly spoke about the issues that were discussed. There was an article in the Guyana News Network that quoted Washington sources and confirmed by Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Guyana sources that said that Ms. Newland expressed to Mr. Todd the U.S. government's concern for recent political developments in Guyana. Obviously, we know what those are. The entire governance of the PPP since they came to power has been based on racism. And we have been engaging the State Department, very quietly engaging the White House about the absolute abject racism. There's no question about it, right? Our contention is, CGID, is that the PPP government is the most anti-Black, brutally racist, and violently oppressive political party and government in the Western Hemisphere. And we will continue to pump that, at least disseminate that information to the rest of the world. These guys are rancid racists. And so once that news article came out, I saw it, I republished it on my page. I know the people who publish GNN, they're credible journalists from, different parts of the world. And I also checked with some of my sources who confirmed how distressed he looked after the call, that he rushed on and made calls to Barajak there in our finale. And so the government, I understand, asked the U.S. ambassador, Sarah PPP Lynch, to give them an assist in killing this story. And so the U.S. embassy today issued a statement saying that the government acknowledges the transparency of the Ali administration, and the U.S. government expresses its support for Guyana and compliments the country for its vote with regard to Nicaragua and stuff like that. Now, obviously, Sarah Lynch, again, is trying to assist the PPP in their propaganda campaign to combat the news that the U.S. government is beginning to focus on their corruption and their racism. because, as you know, President Biden is not going to tolerate racism from any part of the world, any country in the world. And so Sarah Lynch, who's a holdover from the racist Trump administration, had to rush out to put out this statement to give the PPP propaganda machine something to run with. The fact of the matter, Sherrod, is that Sarah Lynch is part or was part of the racist Trump regime. She was acting.
Rickford, that is what you said in this very stinging letter to the Secretary of State, Tony Blinken. I want to read a part of it for our audience, and then you can give it some more context for us.
Sure.
You said here in the letter, it appears contradictory that the Biden administration condemns the sanctions of the ethnographic military junta in Myanmar while ignoring the PPP government in Guyana, which consistently engages in exactly the same level of pernicious racism and autocratic excesses. The PPP regime is the most violently racist and brutally oppressive anti-Black government in the Western Hemisphere. And you went on to state, most disturbingly, it is the unfortunate fact that Ambassador Lynch, a holdover from the Trump era, appears to countenance and incessantly complicit with the racist policies and practices of the PPP racists. Just part of the correspondence.
Absolutely, that's our view. Listen, from the time the PPP government came into power, they have been firing Black people, going after Black people, taking away lands from Black people. Not once has Ambassador Lynch said anything. Now, even if she has to restate U.S. policy without the government being accused of anything, it is a responsibility. She's representing our country. She's representing the United States of America. And this government, the government that appointed her, is a racist administration, an apartheid administration in its own right. But we're in a new political dispensation in America. And the ambassador must represent the values of President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. And she's not doing that. And so today she put out this statement implying that the government supports the Jagdeo Ali government, which is a racist government. And I had to take objection to that, because when I talk to folks in the White House, which I do, when I talk to members of Congress, they also express concern that Ambassador Lynch is quiet about the racism that is coming from the PPP. And that's why we're demanding that she be removed from Guyana. Now, Ambassador Lynch, I'm sure personally might be a nice lady to some people or to everybody, but in her capacity as ambassador, she has to represent the American people. And the majority of the American people just elected a government that believe racism is an evil that must be eradicated from the world. And she is not representing the values of this administration. And again, we're calling for her to be removed. CJID filed a very detailed complaint against the ambassador with the Secretary of State, and most importantly, the Inspector General. Now, when these types of complaints are filed with the Inspector General, it triggers an official investigation. And I hope the Biden administration that we support, that our community support, that Black people in this country supported and Cause to Win, we hope the Biden administration will take all of that into account and have a proper examination of the conduct and record of Ambassador Lynch and take action to remove her from the country. She's too controversial. She's a source of division in the country. She is not helping to create, as an ambassador, an environment that is conducive to unity in Guyana. She acts as though she is the ambassador to the East Indian community and to the PPP. One remembers when the outgoing the last racist Secretary of State, Pompeo, came to Guyana, they excluded the Black population of the country and their representative. Ambassador Lynch did that. And even if the decision was taken from the State Department, she, as the representative on the ground, should have made sure that the opposition that represents half or more of the population of the country is represented in any talks. So she's fostering the division and the racism that the people is practicing in Guyana. And she must go. She must leave our country. She's a source of division. She's too controversial. She is the news instead of her creating news or promoting democracy. Her divisiveness and complicity with racists in Guyana is the news. And so, like I said, she might be a perfectly nice lady But I do not like her politics. She's openly partisan, and she plays up and kisses up to anti-Black regime when half of the population of the country is anti-Black. And so the United States needs to remove her and replace her with an ambassador that's going to promote democracy, that's going to promote transparency, that's not going to cozy up to criminals, not going to have dinner with criminals wanted by the FBI, like this, like ambassador did, ambassador did, and one that will call out the PPP on their racism, call out the PPP whenever they violate international norms, and call out the PPP whenever they attempt to diminish the contributions of Black people in the country and try to make them second-class citizens, and one that would represent the values of the American people.
Yeah, and Rickford, what I love about the activism now through this great organization that you have, the Caribbean Guyana Institute for Democracy, that you all have now moved beyond this level of activism here, engaging the State Department at this level. And there is now a big event that is happening in August. Man, Rickford, I want to fight somebody. I want to fight somebody, man. I see you guys have a big activity here. Tell us about this activity.
Well, we organized the George Floyd for Justice for George Floyd rally in the middle of the pandemic last year. We had close to over 50,000 people attended in the middle of the pandemic. We want to repeat that now as an anti-racist PPP racism march. So that will be on. We hope it's going to be massive. People are planning to come from Canada, Arizona, California, right? So I want to call on all Guyanese. Come to New York on August 15th for the big anti-PPP rally, march and rally. It starts on Flatbush and Church on the 15th at 12 noon, God Spare Life. And we're going to go to the very spot we had the Justice for George Floyd rally at Grand Army Plaza. And we have a big rally where our politicians will address the rally. We have our colleagues coming up from Guyana, about 10 members of parliament coming up from Guyana, and business leaders and civil society leaders coming up for this event. And on the 17th of August, we'll do a diaspora conference. And included in that diaspora conference, we'll have federal, state, and other politicians and government officials addressing atrocities committed by international personalities like Barry Jagdeo, like Anil Nandalal. My focus here is to go after those people who committed the murder of over 1,400 young Black men under the PPP. I was completely disgusted that this matter has not been investigated. Where we know the PPP not investigating, that's Black people. They don't care anything about Black people. You're dead, well, less Black people to deal with. That's the PPP. But the Granger administration failed to investigate this matter. I'm completely adamant about that. We must have an investigation of these Black men that were killed by the PPP. Now they're in power. I see they've already committed an extrajudicial killing of Mr. Peter Hadley. Nobody is talking about it. We'll address that. And we will have lawyers who are international criminal lawyers, who examine criminality by persons around the world and work with governments that have ratified the convention regarding the International Criminal Court to see what could be done in Guyana. There's no way people like Anil Nandalal should live in peace. Barry Jagdeo and all of these people who have been accused of involvement in some kind of extrajudicial activity, and they have not been brought to justice. I know they're posing as attorney general and vice president and all that. We will find a way to get the United States government. Listen, CGID was very, very influential in getting the Bush administration to go after Roger Kahn. We'll do it again. We went to the State Department. We met with Colin Powell. We met with the Assistant Secretary of State for the Western Hemisphere during the Bush administration, and we pushed them to end the killing, extrajudicial killing in Guyana. And they went in there and got Roger Kahn. We'll do it again.
Fantastic.
And we want to organize. The other thing I want to talk about before I go is I noticed this government has gone to Parliament for over $280 billion to introduce and establish a security force called a regional security force. Listen, folks, they are reconstituting the death squad. This time, they're putting them all over the country. Make no mistake about it. This is a secret police. It's already operating. I know some of the people who are part of it, right? They call it a joint service operation. It is a PPP secret police. They don't trust the Black people in the Guyana police force. So they're forming these death squad type units all across the country and claiming it would be administered by the army. That's nonsense. I want to call on all ex-police officers and GDF officers to come together and devise a strategy to, one, expose this secret police, this death squad that the PPP is formed, and a strategy to protect the lives of Black people, lives of property of Black people in Guyana. Because, you know, that's who they're going to go after. I see them calling me a racist because I said we must protect. Well, Black people are under threat in Guyana. If Indian people were under threat, I would be fighting for Indian people. If Amerindians, some of whom are indeed under threat by this government, are under threat, we'll be fighting for them. But in this case, they're Black people. I am Black. I'm as Black as you could get. And I will fight for my people. And to hell with whoever want to call me whatever. I will wear it as a badge of honor. We will not allow this PPP regime, this apartheid regime, to go after Black people and try to eliminate Black people from the population of Guyana and make them second-class citizens or whatever they plan. I noticed they're banning Nigerians from coming into the country now. They've banned Haitians from coming to the country. They're scared of Black people. Well, we exist on behalf of the population and we ain't going nowhere.
Rickford, I am happy with what you guys are doing. On the front, currently engaging the U.S. State Department and Tony Blinken. I love the ride that you have coming up. I come in to fight somebody. I ain't care if I got a crawl, I got a story and something. I see CGID is integrally involved. Black Lives Matter USA, Black Lives Matter Brooklyn, Guyana Ex-Police Association, Ex-GDF Association, Guyana Unity Movement, anything Guyanese First, APNU, AFC, New Amsterdam Support Group, AFC Brooklyn. I see NAR is involved too. New Jersey Central, Sisters on the Move, Bartica Diaspora, United involved, Guyana Veterans Association, Guyanese for Local Development. I so many organizations, Rickford. I think that August 15th in Brooklyn,
we are uniting the entire diaspora.
Right.
And those same organizations, we're about to sign a letter to the White House calling for the removal of the ambassador. By the time the letter is to get done by the end of this week, there'll be 35 organizations joining to call for the removal of this ambassador.
Fantastic work, Rickford, and I want to thank you for spending this time this evening with us. Anything else you want to tell us? You just talk, Rickford. It's your program tonight. You just talk.
Well, I've said enough. My only thing is this. We realize we live in a diverse country and we need national unity. But we cannot have national unity on our own. And what we have been seeing is this government going after Black people and acting only as though they're the government of the East Indian population. And we can't have that. And so that's why we have been speaking out against racism. And we've been speaking out against injustice. I've just been advised, while I'm talking to you there, I'm seeing a text coming across my screen saying that the police has now picked up the men who found Isaiah and Joel Henry's body and are accusing them of being the killers. Also, I noticed Says Gunraj today going after Roxanne Myers and going after Keith Lowenfield and going after Mr. Clement Mingo. And he lied. I made a post today. He lied, claiming that the Elections Commission today unanimously voted to send him on leave. It's a blatant lie. These guys are so disrespectful of Black professionals in Guyana. It is Claudette Singh. I spoke to 3 commissioners, at least 3 officials from GCOM, who confirmed to me that Claudette Singh unilaterally decided that she is going to send them on leave after one commissioner objected to the process where the commission, where Claudette Singh claimed that the Elections Commission was going to conduct a hearing. You would recall that she said that the Elections Commission is not a court and couldn't conduct a hearing to determine where those extra ballots came from that caused the PPP to win. But now she's saying the commission is going to conduct a hearing, is going to form itself into a court so as to determine whether or not Lowenfield and Roxanne Myers and Clement Mingo must be dismissed. So she realized that she would have been committing a constitutional breach of their rights. So she decided to unilaterally send them on leave, basically interdicted them from duty. Listen, Claudette Singh is a dishonest, disgraceful former jurist. And she's, as far as I'm concerned, she's in collusion, and she's been conspiring with the PPP to remove these black officials from GCOM. And you rest assured, Sherrod, by tomorrow at the end of the week, you're going to see a Harry Singh or a Babulal or somebody being appointed to act at GCOM in these three capacities.
Yep. Rickford, again, thanks for stopping by, and thank you for all the work you guys are doing there in the diaspora on our behalf. And you in particular, Rickford, with this fantastic organization, the Caribbean Guyana Institute for Democracy. Thanks again, Rickford.
Thank you. We're servants of the people in our community. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good night to you and your listeners.
Folks, our very own Rickford Burke. I don't know if you had a better program you want to share. This is a content-rich program, folks. Share the live stream. I coming to fight some of you, you know. I'm coming and check your profile again tonight. And if I'm there, I'm going to leave a comment, guys. Thanks, Rickford Burke, there again, the president of the Caribbean Guyana Institute for Democracy. Thank you, MP Amanza Walton-Desir, and very, very special thanks for the leader of the opposition, Joseph Harmon, coming by and adding some context to that very issue there. We know how busy his time is, folks, and thank you guys for staying with us. We are now in extra time here in the ring. Folks, you know, you got to wear your mask, you got to sanitize, you got to social distance and practice all of the other COVID-19 protocols that are there for your health and your safety. Thanks for spending this extra time with us this evening. Do share the live stream. And those of you who come back, you watch it later on, share the live stream as well. We're going to fight y'all. Let's fight, folks. Have a great evening. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe. I said stay safe, or else you're going to be left behind.